Testing, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Adjust the Mic family. This is Charlie.
And Scott.
Hey, just because we act like children, it doesn't mean that children should be listening.
F words and B words, C words, we say them all.
Oh my. Everything we say, we don't know what we're talking about, and we're clueless.
Chris knows a lot.
I mean, of science. Yeah, and thank you for downloading and subscribing to the Adjust the Mic podcast.
Why are you calling my girlfriend in the middle of the night?
I don't call no girls in the middle of the night. You got the wrong number.
Boy, you tell me who you are.
So, are you just going to ask me questions and I can answer it and then we'll go from there? And you can edit out anything that makes me look stupid, or if I say something really messed up that needs to be gone.
You like the Foo Fighters?
No.
So welcome to Adjust the Mic, episode number 135.
Warm up.
Also, incidentally, the final space shuttle mission was STS-135. So joining us to my right is the hostess with the mostest, Mr. Scott Geiser.
Well, hello there, everybody. How you doing?
How's it going? And to my left is the hostess with the mostest,
The CrossFit
craft
King.
beer kings,
The CrossFit King.
the CrossFit King himself, the craft beer queen's husband, Brent Comerford.
How are you now?
How's it going?
So, Colleen, you pretty much forcefully made this happen today.
Yeah.
From what I could imagine. Because Colleen this morning was very into coming to this today. She's like, I can't wait. And then she goes, Brent wants to come and wants me to stay home. I think I'm going to let him because he wants to nerd out with you guys.
She was hemming and hawing, and I told her, I was like, nope, I'm making an executive decision. You're staying home.
I like it.
I'm going.
I like it. Did you have to raise a hand or
We were
was there a
driving.
negotiation of any kind?
No, we were
or-
driving, so I was going to kick her out of the car. She didn't
There you go.
Tuck
There
and
you go.
roll.
Well, Colleen, we'll miss you. I think next week it's going to be just Colleen and I.
Yeah, Charlie isn't here tonight either. He is.
Oh, that's right.
selling-
Charlie's gone too tonight.
Yeah, selling something big.
He just closed on his house.
Yep.
He's doing it, I think, right now.
He
It was at 4:30.
So he's in the thick of it right now.
So he's closing. I hope he signed like 100,000 pages. I hope that whoever the title company is, they didn't have DocuSign where he could do it real quick and easy.
You
He's
get the
just sitting
hand
there
cramps.
C.
Dude, the last time I refied, it was all DocuSign.
Yeah, it's
it
the
was
best.
all on my phone.
It was the best.
Yeah.
I finished my whole. I walked in my closing for this house, and I walked out 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
It was that easy.
It was pretty good.
You still have to go in even with DocuSign?
Dude, you got to go in and they want to give you something, and there's
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 things you have to hand sign, and that was it.
Yeah, there's a couple legal documents
absolutely
that don't qualify for the DocuSign.
Exactly.
I think it's mostly the title shit, but yeah.
I
So,
thought-
yeah.
I thought everything did nowadays.
So
yeah.
we're going to do a nerd podcast today because we're all nerds
Dude, we've been talking about this
for
like
forever.
outside of the show. Like whenever we have a party or a get together, Brent's always like, "So when are we going to get me, you, and Chris and just do a podcast and we're just going to talk about nerd stuff the whole time?" So guys, be ready.
Yeah.
I'm 35.
And the funny thing is, I'm not as nerdy as I come across.
I
Oh
sincerely
really?
doubt that,
Oh
sir.
really?
Are you saying it's all a front?
Something
So,
like
so
that.
it's just us two being nerds, and you're like not a nerd. You're cool. Like you're a what's the movie? What are they? The
Revenge of the Nerds?
Lambdas or something?
Yeah.
What is he? He's a lambda.
Yeah, don't make fun of us real nerds over here now.
Or
Mr.
is it the
jock?
the tri-lamp? What is it?
the Trilambs.
Yeah.
I think it's just certain topics I nerd out on.
Well, what's a big one that you can nerd out on
Oh, man.
aside from smoking biscuit?
Honestly,
Wearing robes.
I don't know. I kind of keep to myself, but the big thing now is I'm into the Curse of Oak Island show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
And I've been
Okay.
watching that and season finale tonight, so I'm excited about that.
If you thought that there was gold on an island outside of in the Indian River out here in one of the little islands,
I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
would you try to buy it, or would you go out there in the middle of the night in your little John boat and try to dig?
I don't think I'd have the willpower to stay up all night. and
Dude,
do that.
they've been excavating Oak Island for decades.
A long time.
I remember reading about this shit when I was in high school. I mean, that was
Well, it
25
started-
something years ago.
like 1890 something. I
Yeah.
think we started digging.
So what's so special about this island?
I don't know. I think now they're starting to prove that the Knights Templar were involved.
Oh,
So
could that be a resting place for the Holy Grail, perhaps?
that's what they're thinking, but we'll see.
I think if they had discovered something like that would have been already big breaking news. And
I think
not
it's all
saved.
suspect, man.
It's all sus. Is that what you're saying?
It's sus as fuck, man.
So Oak Island is this place up in Canada, right over by Nova Scotia, I think. So northeast Canada.
Okay.
Mahone Bay.
Yeah, right on the Atlantic Ocean. And whoever bought the island in the late 1800s discovered a pit off to the side of the island that every time they tried to dig down, they'd run into different obstructions. So like there was like a cedar layer, there was another layer of stones. There was once they got through that, then there was more like cedar timbers that were blocking the way. And so they would dig and then find an impediment and then stop. And then 20 years later, it'd be brought up and somebody would be like, hey, I'd like to look, and they'd get further and further down. But they discovered that once they got down past a certain point, they started getting into the water table, and then they'd have to pump the water out, but it would refill every time the high tide came in.
Gotcha.
So the prevailing theory at first was that it was some kind of like secret pirate cache. Like that's where they hid all their bounty, their booty and stuff. But
All
then
the gold.
but then as technology got better, they were able to go deeper and deeper down, and they kept finding these different layers of stuff that would impede you from digging down further. So I guess that so it became a big mystery, and they wrote a ton of books about it. Now I guess they're excavating it now for the show, which I haven't done.
That show's been around for years too, right?
Yeah, like they're on season 9 or 10 now.
Damn.
But they just found, like in their swamp, they found out the swamp was man-made,
Okay.
and they found a stone-paved road underneath the swamp.
Really?
Guys, this shit's got to be fake, man.
There's something there, obviously.
How can you have 10 seasons of looking for a treasure on an island?
That's a good point. They're just milking the fuck out of it.
They're
That's what
milking
doing.
them. They're writing new shit. They're like, oh, let's make this a fucking island. Let's make this a road, an underground fucking road.
They're spending millions and millions of dollars a season.
They're making millions and millions.
Well,
All you guys are watching it.
they're making like $200,000 an episode.
And they tried to like side tunnel their way in at different various angles to get past all these obstructions that have always
Before you know it, they're gonna have like, you know how like with TV shows back in the day, like would have a collab where they'd have like the guys from Friends be on Seinfeld or some kind of weird shit. You're gonna have like 90 Day Fiance people on freaking on the Oak Island freaking digging up fucking booty.
I just like the history aspect of it.
Yeah.
And they're going like they're in Portugal right now, like studying it, and they're finding like some symbols and stuff they're seeing on the island, and proving that like, you know, possibly the Templars were over there before Columbus even.
Yeah.
You know, going back to like the 1300s.
Yeah.
It is interesting, man. It really is. I've actually watched maybe half of the first season. That's why I'm throwing shit at it.
Well, because the Crusaders,
it was good. I liked it.
That was all like 900 AD through about 1200 AD, right? So Columbus was 1400. So they would have been there hundreds of years before Columbus was.
Well, they're saying they escaped at the end when they were being persecuted in Portugal and Spain, and you know, they went to, was it Scotland, and then from Scotland they went over to Oak Island apparently. And
so think about it this way, though. So, like, I'm on Oak Island, right? And I have, let's say I just landed on Oak Island. And I have a fucking shit ton of gold or treasure or whatever my treasure is. Am I going to dig for 8 years or 8 seasons worth down a fucking hole to put it?
Well, yeah, that's what they did. Because back in the day, you didn't have banks.
What did they use?
You didn't have vaults.
They didn't have no a heavy equipment that they have now, and they're still having a hard time getting down there.
Dude, from time immemorial, our
had wooden
ancestors
shovels.
buried their shit. That was how you put it in safe. You find a spot in the middle of nowhere.
And wooden bowls.
You dig
in
a big hole, and you put your valuables at the bottom of the hole, and you
put it
cover
next
back
to
up.
an oak tree with some soft sand or some average, some easy to dig up shit, and then you just like hope for the best and come back till you can get to it.
But whoever these people were, they dug a big fucking hole and then put layers upon layers of layers.
That's taken 100
of
years for anybody else to kind of get to. It's so fucking like.
Yeah, but it makes you think like, even in your backyard, what could be buried back there? That like, you know, the Seminoles or something.
People find crazy shit in their walls of their old houses and stuff. Like people, all kinds of cool things.
Well, and over in the British Isles too. I mean, they're still finding like hordes of Viking gold. That you know, these gold coins by the hundreds that these Vikings were like, fuck, I gotta hide this somewhere.
Think about what's going to happen, guys, when more and more of this permafrost warms up, and more, you know, is more land is exposed. They're going to find things up there that's going to flip people's, you know, brains and be like, whoa, like we're going to find that things are going to be different. Maybe they're going to have new findings up
Well,
there.
it, just like T-Rex.
Yeah.
You guys see that? It's like a bird.
Yeah.
It actually had wings.
Like
and
and I don't-
feathers.
like
and it wasn't
No, I
do we
didn't
know
see
for a
that.
fact that their skin is like they say it is?
No, they said that it wasn't scaly, and in fact, they think it had feathers and it was more bird-like.
I think it would be more bird-like, right?
Well, they do have fossilized impression of dinosaurs scales to
Okay,
show they
okay.
had it. Yeah. So
Okay.
Just like they've got fossilized dinosaur poop to know
That's-
that they
yeah,
actually did poop.
That's
So,
true. And we do have like rhinos that have that kind of same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were saying that modern birds came from dinosaurs. I mean, that was because I have chickens now. I got chickens again.
They're dinosaurs.
And those things are dinosaurs.
They're baby
the way
dinosaurs.
they walk and the way they look at things, and it's very reptilian. It's the
They
strangest
have those
thing.
red eyes, man.
Yeah, and then their claws are very they are scaly.
They're
claws
savage,
and
dude.
So can
and they're
chickens
stupid.
like actually fly?
They can jump and they can't like fly like a mockingbird or an eagle or something like that. They can do like when because I've got like a 2-tier chicken coop, and when they want to jump down to the bottom, they do jump and flap their wings, but they're not flying. They're just slowing.
They
their
can
descent.
from land. If you had like a wooden fence, they can fly up to that fence and then they can perch up there,
Right.
and then they can fly like kind of float down.
Because I saw a TikTok and it looked like these like I don't think it was probably CGI, but like someone went outside
Look
and
at
whistled,
all those chickens,
and their chickens just come flying down down the hill.
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of that lately. That is that real?
I don't know.
Because that guy hits that little tin thing one time.
Yeah.
And I guess it's dinner. That's the dinner bell.
Yeah.
And then they all come hauling ass from the mountains from every direction.
Well, they
It's
can't.
gotta be fake.
They
right?
can't fly down from a tree, right? Like they can only go like 6 to 7 feet.
Well, can they glide?
I
No,
mean, these
they
guys are
can't.
going like 100 feet.
Well, you
got
got to think the chickens that we have now were bred for consumption, so they're bred to be really meaty. So they're
So
too
some
heavy
chickens
to fly.
can do that.
Big breasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can say it.
It's my favorite.
And like,
cat.
is an ostrich just kind of like a humongous chicken?
Yeah, basically with a really long neck.
Because they're evil, man, with their beaks and their fucking red, yellow, red. Like they are not okay.
Have you ever seen one up close?
Oh yeah, we used
Yeah.
to, at the Louisville Zoo. We used to go all the time to
At-
see them, and they'd always peck at you through the.
Yeah, at the Old Boy Ranch over there in Maradon, they've got a couple of them.
They're evil, man.
They'll come look because they know that you've got the bag of food. They'll snatch that shit right out of your hands and
yeah.
walk away.
We used to always love to go see the potbelly pigs.
Yeah,
They were always fucking.
And you can't eat those, right?
potbelly pigs. You can't. You're hungry
Yeah,
enough.
you can.
What's the one that you can't? You're not supposed to eat. Isn't that potbelly pig?
I think they say the Vietnamese potbelly pig they don't taste good or something. But
Something. I mean, the wild
but
boars that the
you can eat
rednecks hunt out there at the refuge, they don't eat because they're full of worms.
if they're young, they'll eat them. And if you get them when they're not too big,
yeah,
just like because they do have the worms, like you're saying.
pigs are gross.
Yeah, they are. I don't know if I want to eat.
I want to build one of those giant cinder block pits in my backyard.
Oh yeah,
And do a whole hog.
Oh yeah,
we did it at Mr. Perry's house for some get together. It was so good, and it's not hard. It's all it is metal wire, racks on each side. You can buy it from Publix. You can just go to Publix and buy a pig for a couple $100, $200, and then just what you said is that you just push the charcoal on one side.
Yep.
Get it going. Have
Cool.
it like a little off heat, and you just still flip that damn pig up. Dude, it's delicious.
I want to do it with I actually build a burn barrel, make my
Yeah.
own coals, and
Oh,
do the
yeah.
low and slow like Carolina style.
We talking about like
Would you
burning
robe
the
the
ground?
whole time?
Well, you get 50-gallon drums, and you build a barrel. You load up your wood, and all the coals burn down, and that's what you spread underneath the pig,
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
just like Carolina style.
Because you could do it Cuban style, where they just bury the whole fucking
So
thing
you're
in the
gonna do it
ground.
for
I
the
wouldn't
next
mind doing
Adjust
that
My
too.
Party?
They
Is that
light
what
the
you're gonna
fire on top of it, and then let it cook from the top down, basically.
Yeah, I want to do that too. I want when we get the house, we want to build like a whole backyard. I want to build there's 3 or 4 different barbecue pits, a putting green. I have a driving range planned in the corner.
Nice.
Make sure they tuck their shirts in.
Yeah, right.
Got to.
A pool next to it. Just do it all up.
Like, I think it'd be pretty badass if, like, okay, you guys get a new house, right? And you're like, hey, we're gonna have a little get together. We're gonna have everybody come over, and we all come over to Brent's house, and we park in the driveway. We go up, and you can't go to the front door. He goes, hey, come around the back to the gate. When you open the gate, there's like a rack of robes with like letters of the initials of all the guests that are going to be there, and you put on your robe, and you wear it all through the backyard through all of the fun activities.
I almost wore my robe tonight.
You should have.
Dude,
I
you
had
should
it
have.
out, and Colleen's like, well, are you gonna put some clothes underneath it? And I was like, no. She's like, then you can't wear that.
I'm over here with just a robe and nothing else. And you just,
My slippers.
This would be fantastic. So explain the robe to people who may not know.
Well, apparently you guys think that I just wear this robe all the time around the
you
house.
do, right?
Only during the winter time when it's.
I think it's awesome. I think robes are great. They got robes. Have you worn your robe?
All the time. I wear it when it's cold enough. I do. Yeah, I'll throw it
I think
on.
the robes are fantastic.
It's too hot most of the time in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, it hangs up in the closet and it's there for come barbecue.
When you're
season.
smoking meat in the wintertime, you put the robe on to go out there to check.
Yeah, because it's like
and
2
come
in the morning. It's,
Right.
It's 40 degrees out. I'm not going to freeze my balls off.
So
I'm
we-
going to wear a robe.
We've got this legend that every time you go out and you're smoking meat, no matter what temperature it is,
The smoking
the
meat robe.
smoking meat robe's got to go on, right? It's like part of the magic. 'Cause if you don't know, Brent here is the king of smoking meats.
Maybe I need to get a shorter one for the summertime, and then wear my long one in
Like
the
a
wintertime.
thin one, like one
One of those silk ones.
Yeah, that's a good
Get
idea.
a nice silk robe.
And it could be pink because it kind of matches the color.
It don't
of like
even matter.
A pork, yeah.
No, see,
They don't even
you
matter.
could use the pink of the robe to gauge the doneness of the meat, right? You take a big old chunk out, stick it up next
think
to
about
it.
think about back in the day with Rocky Balboa when he went to the ring. He had that silk robe with the little
Sure.
the little thing on.
Yeah.
And you got to put a logo on the back,
Like a big old, like smoking
like
drumstick.
BM Brent's meat.
Yeah, I actually had I was trying to start a company because I wanted to do barbecue on the side for a living,
Yeah.
and it was hard to try to find like a certified kitchen to do it in.
Okay.
So I could like sell it at
Yeah.
festivals,
Yeah.
and food trucks and such.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
And my buddy wanted to open one in Merritt Island. He was like, "It was an empty building here. Let's get it, open it, certified, and we can rent it out to all these food trucks that need the kitchen."
Yeah. It's not a bad
But
idea. Actually, really
kind of
good
fell
idea.
through, but then I was gonna like do like just like all my rubs and stuff like that, and I was just
Uh-huh.
gonna sell them online because
Yeah.
you don't have to be certified for that.
No.
What they call it, like the cottage.
Yeah, it's the Cottage Food Act.
Yeah,
Because you can make like jams and jellies and stuff in your own kitchen and sell it, but there's a whole list of shit you can't, and one of those is pickles. Because if you don't prepare it right, you could really make somebody sick with a bad batch of
Yeah.
pickles. So
Because there really isn't many places that sell just pickles.
no, because you have to have a certified kitchen to prepare it.
There's one place I know of though.
Where?
It's not a certified kitchen.
Ooh.
At least I don't know. Daytona at the flea market, they have a pickle place in there.
Yeah.
They have probably 50 big old barrels. They've been there since the place is opened.
Sure.
It's probably the nicest store that they have at the whole place.
Yeah. See, I think they do.
And,
you
and
do
it's
have
so
to.
good. Like I'm sure that they are probably official in every way, shape,
Yeah.
and form.
well, there's different types
But,
too. So
yeah,
because you can do barrel pickles or like the warm, or you can do it in the cold.
yeah.
What do they call them? The refrigerator pickles,
Mhm.
the cellar pickles.
Yep, you got fermented. You got the
Yeah.
different types. You can do them different ways and everything.
Well, hey,
I guess technically, like, was it kimchi is a pickle?
Yep. Yeah, it's
It's
all
just
pickled.
ferment-
It's pickled. Yeah, no doubt.
So, what have you been nerding out on recently, there, Scott?
I guess this whole setup here.
Yeah,
I
you're
got the little
looking-
curved screen now. I got the whole little. So I can throw. I had the backup screen over here, so I can throw the internet stuff on it, and then throw that on the TV, and then I have little thing here. I've been doing my NFTs. I've been getting all those listed up, and it's going good.
I've been seeing that the FT curves, sale curves have been flattening.
They've been really flat. Like our sales are like we didn't expect when we first we released our stuff here just a couple weeks ago. We didn't expect to have a big sale yet because we haven't put up much of the marketing to it, but we're starting to kind of add the marketing, and we have a Discord channel and getting a following in Discord. And Discord's kind of cool, man. Like, you guys get on Discord at all?
Sure.
So Discord's big for gamers, right?
It's big for a lot of things.
And it's big for like trading. It's big, like just like Telegram, all these, like whenever there's a hurricane, and everybody says get Discord or get this app or that app, because it's a free chat app that you can download on your phone.
Sure.
And if you have basic cell phone service, you can get on there and chat with anybody across the world instantly without having to pay fees.
Well, they have
Right.
like groups too, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, and back in the day, this is where we're gonna deep dive rabbit hole real quick. Gaming, okay. I used to play Counter-Strike back in the day on a PC, right when the cable modems first came out.
Okay.
And when that came out, when you were trying to get your matches and trying to meet with people and trying to have tournaments and have competitions with other people, other clans and whatnot. You had to go on IRC, it was called.
Yep. Internet relay.
Yep, internet relay chat, and it was very basic, and they had different mods you could download. People were creating different mods and styles and looks, but it all was the same commands. You go in there, and if you have a channel, you're the moderator of your own channel. It's very basic, but it's all slash commands. You put a little slash in or a dot, and then you type in a little string of whatever you're set up, whatever you need, and you could set up your server, create the colors of the text, create administrators for your channel.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a few hundred people on our channel. We were Tombstone, right? It was the name of our clan. And people would come, other clans would come into ours to try to, they want to battle us. They want to, let's have a little, I guess it was practice. We called it practice.
Sure.
So every day after work, we'd go have practice and go in and have scrimmages with these other people to get better so we can play in our online tournaments. Well, Discord is just that IRC, on crack.
Right.
It's just amazing all the things you can do. And that's what I've been nerding out on, man. I've been adding bots that can do things for me, that if someone buys some of our NFTs in our Discord channel, that it'll automatically give them a label or a title as a collector of ours or as a member of ours, and all this. That's what I've been nerding out on, and I've been deep in it, man. It's been every single day. I've been spending an hour or two trying to figure out how to do this, trying to really learning how to market in the Web3 space,
right?
Because it's different. It's not like you go on Facebook and pay some money and market, or go to Google Ads. You have to go into these blockchain environments where these small little communities are being built, and you have to find these guys. And Discord's where a lot of them are at, so that way you can kind of tell them what you're doing. This is our project. This is what we're doing. This is our idea. This is the art. What we're doing is taking canvas art, and we're scanning it and then turning it into an digital NFT.
Okay.
So when you look at the scanned canvas art, it's got all kinds of brush strokes, and it's got all kinds of, you can see the imperfections in it. And that's kind of its signature, its footprint or its fingerprint, that you can tell that it's original.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's not something a lot of people, when they're doing their art, they're doing it, and it's all it's all graphic design. It's all digital art. And they're doing algorithms where there's 10,000 Bored Apes, and everybody gets their own little looking guy.
Yeah, sure.
And they're going for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a piece.
Now, how many of your NFTs have you sold?
We've sold, I think, 30 of them now.
At how much a piece?
Anywhere from $1 to $10 a piece.
Well, that's not bad.
So we're not the whole NFT craze that everybody's going in. The reason that everybody's doing this is there's only one. It's called OpenSea, okay? And then there's these NFTs that's on the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
And Ethereum, what it is you have these guys that have bought Ethereum when it was 3,000th of a penny or half a penny, and they bought thousands of these things. Well, then all of a sudden they go to $4,000 a piece for one coin. So now these guys are millionaires with nothing to do. They don't know. They can't spend it unless they want to just go in and cash it out immediately into US dollars for that profit. They're not trying to do that. They're all trying to do that. They're really trying to get into that next Web3 and save that stuff, but they're trying to spend that money within their environment, because you can only spend Ethereum on Ethereum projects.
Sure.
So Ethereum projects come up, and you got these guys that have multiple hundreds of millions of dollars in value of these coins that they've been either mining or buying on the cheap, right? And now they're buying these Bored Apes and all these big, crypto punks and all that, and they're driving up the price because now everybody's talking about it. They're marketing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right now, things that people paid $1 million for then, they're only worth $50,000 now. People have lost millions of dollars buying NFTs and inflated
hundreds of millions of dollars.
But it's because it doesn't matter to these people. These people are spending this money on this stuff, and it doesn't affect them because they have so much of it, and it's helping populate and make their network. And some people are making a lot of money on it. And our blockchain, we were in there at first, but we were such little dogs in a big pond that we just didn't see ourselves fit in that. So we found this Wax blockchain, and Amazon and Sony and all these companies are getting in there. And most of their stuff is play to earn games. So the new game up there right now is instead of playing Farmville on an app on your phone, and you're farming and getting resources, and then you're just taking your resources to buy new stuff to build your farm, Now you're taking $500 in some cryptocurrency. You know, like if you went to Roblox or, you know, Minecraft, you could buy things for their coins. Like you take your American dollars, put your credit card in, you get whatever their token or coin is, and then you use those things to buy. That's all this is, man. Is these guys are getting these farm games and alien worlds and stuff where you're spending $500 and you're buying like a spaceship, or you're buying a mining shovel that's badass or something. And then as you're doing your mining and you're playing this game and whatever, the money and the points that you get, that's real money.
Right.
So it's not fake coins. That's real money that's building up. So whenever you want to cash out, you cash out into American money.
Right.
You know, or US dollar or whatever you want. And you can earn, like there's people right now that are making, you know, anywhere from $100 to $500 a month in extra income by not doing, like being at work every day while their play to earn game is earning them money.
Because you know why? You know why they're earning real money.
Yep.
Because they're using your computer's processing power to mine whatever cryptocurrency, and that's where you're getting that money.
Yep.
But you're not getting 100% of the mined cryptocurrency value.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting a portion of it.
There's all percentages.
Yeah.
Every blockchain takes their cut. 1%, 2%, 5%,
Sure.
7, 9.
But it's helping the blockchain by using your unused CPU time or your GPU time to help mine this cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency just isn't invented out of nothing.
Exactly.
You have to mine it.
Yep.
And the process of mining it is you've got these computers with, you know, tons of processing power are generating the hashes that go into creating what would be functionally one Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so people who early on made a shit ton of money on crypto, they spent and invested millions of dollars in their own mining operations. So they'd have they'd buy these warehouses out in Idaho in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
And then they would fill it with computers. And
graphic cards.
Yeah, but that's where it is, because GPUs are better than CPUs at mining this stuff.
That's why NVIDIA went up to $500 a share, you know? I mean, seriously.
So what they would do is they set up these mining operations, and if they only mined 1 Bitcoin a day off of 1,000 mining machines, that could be potentially worth $60,000 in one day.
Yep.
If depending on the fluctuation of crypto, because crypto is super volatile. So that's why they spend millions of dollars, but they end up making that millions of dollars back with a month. And the rest of it is nothing but net profit.
So, and you're exactly right. So that's the first cryptocurrency is mining. Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's 2 or 3 of Cardano they even mine. Yeah. But see, Cardano, they've gone over to proof of stake. See, there's a different way that these things are being created now too. It's by just participating, by just having a cryptocurrency in a blockchain and saving it. Like you have your digital wallet, right? You have your where all your cryptocurrencies being held, like it's your little market, you know, your little wallet. And if you want to take it and stake it, there's options where you can stake it to where you can't access that money for 30 days, 60 days, whatever that time frame that contract entails. And that money that you have that you stake gets put to use in that network as they're building out these networks. And then you get rewarded for doing that. So it's like having a savings account, right? You get the normal savings account at a bank is giving you almost nothing nowadays, right? I mean, it's almost nothing.
More like a CD.
Exactly. Where these cryptocurrencies going, hey, if you help us build this out, we'll give you 7% return on your investment, 9%, you know, and it fluctuates. It can be 20% at times. So if you just kind of get into the right one and you're investing in proof of staking, that's how that's how people are mining. That's the new mining.
Okay.
Because what it's doing is it's not taking all these video cards in these top end, like these big warehouses aren't having to be built for people to mine these other cryptocurrencies that are being that are out there. I mean, there's cryptocurrency you can mine on your phone now. There's all kinds of different ways that people are trying to participate in this Web3. Because everybody's trying to find the best and easiest way to take the least amount of resources.
Right.
Resources, you know this very well. It's been the key to the ups and downs of Bitcoin here lately. Is people saying that it's not good for the environment. It costs a lot of money to generate the computing power is too much. When it's been proven wrong already that that's the case.
Right.
But they are doing things to try to make it.
Well, that's why China recently banned Bitcoin mining in one of their provinces in Shenzhen because
their whole country now.
Yeah, this one particular region was cheap enough in China where they were putting up these farms by the hundreds.
Yeah.
And the energy resource utilization spiked like 7,000 and 8,000%.
Yeah.
And China's like, whoa, 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 we can't have you nerds taking up all this energy. That's now illegal.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because say you have millions and millions of dollars in a crypto wallet, right? That's pegged to like various different types of Bitcoin. The U.S. government could come one day and say, you know what? Cryptocurrency is banned in the United States. And guess what? All of that money, quote unquote money that you had, it's all gone.
Yep.
Because now it's worthless.
Well,
because it's not backed by a physical security. The dollar is backed by the gold or the gold
Not
standard.
anymore.
Well, it used to be.
Yeah.
But my point is there's a tangible value to having a dollar because you could trade that dollar at some point for something.
Hey, you know what? There's a we won't do it right now, but there's a podcast on YouTube, and it's sponsored by SoFi. What is it? Pomp business. What is? I'll come up with the name and I'll even post it in our group. There's a competition. There's a guy who is all about the dollar, thinks Bitcoin and everything's a scam. Then you got these guys that are hyper intelligent and understand everything that surrounds this Bitcoin. And they go into that debate that you just brought up about the dollar backing and the gold and this and that. And I'm telling you, there is the Best Damn Business Show is what it's called. And I'm telling you, it's fantastic. And they have that exact argument. And there's no way I could do it any justice of explaining it because
that's a whole ass argument.
They both have points and they both are coming at the end of this because they're friends. They're both coming at the end of this conversation going, you know what? You're right. You're right. We don't know who's going to win this. You both have valid points. It's just a matter of what people are going to latch on to.
Yeah.
I just still can't wrap my head around it. Like,
So many
me.
people can't. So many.
I mean, I have some crypto because
the
Super Bowl commercial with the free, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Then I watched some videos and got some more. So I was like, $25 of free stuff.
Yeah,
I made $6,000 on that Shiba Inu last year.
yeah. He got me turned on
It
to
was
it.
crazy.
I made
It was crazy.
some money and then lost some.
I put like $200 and bought like 30 million of these stupid things, and then it just skyrocketed and got the fuck out.
Yeah, because he got in at the perfect time,
Yeah.
right before it did like a 7,000% super spike. He's like, "Bro, I made so much fucking. You gotta get it. Just put $100 in." I'm like, "I don't put $100 in," and then it was worth $200, and then it was worth $95. So I put more money into it, and then I eventually sold out and made some money, and then
Crypto's pretty flat right now. There's a lot of hype, but it hasn't been built out to be worth all of the hype yet.
Yeah.
All of these companies are building something that they're trying to like governments are going to have, each government in the world is probably going to have their own individual blockchain that they partner with that is not going to be hackable, but what it's going to do is there's all these little side chains they're calling now. So if you're a blockchain, it's very hard to integrate. You can't integrate old technology with this new blockchain.
Yeah, they're calling some of those shit coins.
In a good way. Yeah, exactly. There's so many scam coins because now you can go to a website to just make your own coins, hit submit.
I just
and
don't
they're
know how
out
to
there.
research it. So it's like I look and I'm like, I wouldn't know where to go. I'm like, oh, that name sounds cool. I'll buy some of that. You know?
Yeah, there's some. Twitter is dangerous. First off, but Twitter will help you find the people that know where those sources of news are, and you want to know where they are? Discord
and Reddit,
Telegram, Reddit. All of these younger generation social platforms that are free, that try to talk that they're DeFi, but they're really not. There's a lot of conversation about DeFi, and a lot of it's faux, not real. And it's interesting though. But that's where all these people are talking. That's where all this information is from. And since the Robinhood thing all happened, now all of these big, firms, every one of them have every one of those apps on their computers at their offices now, and they all have secret names, and they're following what's being talked about and said in there. And it's interesting, man. It's a war.
I don't have time for all that.
Yeah.
Not many people do, man. It's
know.
exceedingly complicated, especially
really
if you
is.
want to go past the level of understanding where it's like, oh, I can just log into an app and buy something. If you want to know more than that, dude, then you're digging through like really stale white papers.
I mean,
And it's just
boring.
hard to wrap your head around. It is really boring.
Yeah.
But if you don't even need to possess that level of understanding, though, unless you want to create your own. if you just want to be a casual consumer, apps like Robinhood and even like my bank, TD, just started offering crypto sales.
Yep,
it's
Team
really
Ameritrade.
Yeah, it's really easy to get into and spend your money. But the key thing to remember is there's an adage. They say don't invest in crypto what you're not prepared to lose, basically. So
Yep.
whatever you invest, be prepared to lose that because of the volatility of these markets. I mean, you could be up one day and then way down the next day, and it fluctuates like the wind.
TD Ameritrade's one of the best. They have a Thinkorswim app that you can download on a desktop, and it's like an ultimate day trading type of platform. That's where people kind of go and try to train you reading all these little trends, and you can kind of read all these charts and kind of try to make smart decisions on your day trades. It's so unpredictable, man. There's so much shit behind
It's
it.
really,
It's tough.
you're flipping a coin. It is such a gamble now.
It really
because it's not like traditional investing where you've got safe havens like real estate or commodities or anything like that, or or retail investment, in different areas, right? Like you can't invest in currency as a safe haven. There is none in cryptocurrency. It is all, you're completely exposed. Every
Totally.
position you have is completely exposed to volatility.
And there's so many trading platforms.
There's a ton
of this, and there's a lot of them have been getting hacked or like they've been scammed. There's been some stuff going on. There's 4 or 5 of them that I personally use that I feel pretty good about until I don't, I guess. But let's say everything in America shuts down and your cryptocurrency is worthless that you've been doing. As long as you're smart and you have a backup plan, you can get that on your Binance, Bittrex, on your backup bank accounts, and then you can still convert it to any currency that you need to, because that's what's cool about this is, like, everybody's making a stable coin for their country, right? And let's say if I'm in Morocco, and in Morocco they have some spices in Morocco that you can't get anywhere else. And there's an app, there's like this one company, Humble, that they're developing this, is you're going to be able to go to Morocco, to their farmer's market from America, and you're going to be able to go to their little mini online store, like where it shows a list of what they can buy and they sell. And you're going to be able to say, I want to buy that spice and have it shipped here. And you're going to be able to do it. And then with whatever their currency is and whatever currency you have, you're going to be able to convert it within that app and buy that Moroccan spice and have it shipped to you with like 4 or 5 clicks rather than having to exchange money, do this,
Sure.
let it last 3 days. Like that's what everything's going. Like the world market that everybody's talking about, cryptocurrency is going to help make those things happen. And that's the only really point people need to know is, yeah, there's going to be some that are bullshit and some that are legit, and you got to do your homework and kind of hope for the best, just like you would if any stock or
It
company.
just all comes down to whether or not the governments can regulate it and get their fair share.
Exactly. And that's what they're working on right now. And that's why a lot of the cryptocurrency's flat right now, because they put a pretty heavy tax on it. I mean,
And if they can't
yeah.
figure it out, then people are just going to abandon it or if they figure it out, people may abandon it.
They're gonna incorporate it. There's too much, and there's too many big people now involved for it to fail almost. It's pretty ridiculous. It's happening. I mean, every big company out there, what they're trying to do, PayPal, all these like PayPal's the biggest one. All these guys, they're Web 2. They are the second generation of web in what they've built, which means a lot of their stuff is more easy to hack than this next generation. So there's been a lot of scams. There's been a lot of issues going on with the current pay systems. When you look at a bank and their current ledger system, it's slow. It's garbage. It doesn't provide any benefits to any of its people. I mean, that's why these companies like SoFi, who just got their bank charter, that's why they're kind of really popping off, is because they are offering, like when I have my savings account, I actually get a few % out of them where you get almost nothing through a local branch.
Right, yeah.
I can go on there and anything that I spend with my debit card, I get points. And that 100 points is $1. I can buy $1 worth of a stock right there within that app. Everything's point and click and fast. And it's just the old way just isn't there.
Yeah.
So PayPal and all them, they're really pushing this stuff and they're really fighting against this stuff right now because they're behind the scenes developing the same technology,
Right.
so they don't get left behind.
Well, they're dinosaurs now by this point.
So yeah, exactly. So, and they won't get left behind. They're gonna, come out with their bad new stuff, just like everybody, Apple. They're gonna come out with all their new stuff, and then, you know what I mean. These new companies that are trying to drive this technology are gonna have to battle those guys.
Man, so we started at video gaming and ended down a way deep rabbit hole about Bitcoins, cryptocurrencies. That was a good one.
There's only going to be 40 to 45-year-old men to listen to this episode.
Let's take a break, boys.
What's going on in my
Yeah,
lap?
let's do it. Dude, Brent's over there with both dogs. They're licking them.
Just chilling.
Dude, they're like, oh, man,
We
you
could
smell
smell
so
the
good. I
brisket.
smell the brisket right off of your legs.
We'll be back.
Hey, that didn't sound too much like Satisfaction.
Yeah, what's the matter, do you think? I don't know, it says B flat. I'm just playing what it says. Play me an A.
This is bad.
Yeah, we sound like shit. I knew this band idea was gonna suck.
What does suck mean?
We bleed green. We bleed green. We bleed green. We bleed green.
However, they withdrew into their music and rituals.
Let's start by deceiving the non-believing, by retrieving data, splatter, 1,000 into one smatter. Satellites be like linguistic anthropology. We study the roots of men to fill the boots of a man with no apology. Astrology acknowledge me before you was a galaxy. Now you think you're straight just like my galaxy. Reality onslaught with gifts you got. Now be kind, toxic, telepathic, slim knot. When drip drops of rain, laced with green stains. Watch it straight from your domains into your brains. And then we shape shift two trees, drop green leaves on your planet. Create another god, give you reason to say damn it. My king on the cross, called red-handed. We did not slip when the chip was implanted. Do not slip when the chip is implanted. Don't slip when the chip is implanted. Red blood disease fell like rain upon your planet. Swear by every dread in the head that we'd rather be dead. Be dead. To be red, be red, we bleed green. We bleed green.
And we're back. How's it going, boys?
Good, good. I'm hungry.
Have we been sufficiently nerdy yet?
Oh, dude, we nerded out big time. We bored a lot of people.
I'm
that
sure we
first half.
did. So to the 5 of you that are still listening, thank you for still sticking around with us.
Charlie's like, fuck, I can't listen to this.
Yeah, I'm hungry too, man. I haven't been eating a whole lot because the
I want
work's
a
been
buffet,
crazy.
man. I want to eat a buffet. I want to go to like Morrison's Cafe.
Oh, man.
And just pick. I want to go to like Ryan's Steakhouse and just pick everything.
So when they had the buffet, did you guys ever have like that marshmallow fruit coconut concoction they had?
Yeah. My grandma
They
used to
call
make
it
it all the time.
ambrosia, right? Is that what it's called?
Ambrosia salad.
Dude, that was the shit.
Where is Ryan's at?
Well, Ryan's there was a Ryan's, and it was at the over across by Target off of 50 there.
Yes.
Is that like the Chinese place now?
Yeah, it's that Chinese buffet that's been like one of the worst restaurants in Brevard
So
County,
that was
like
what,
50
Ryan's,
times.
And then it was what, Whistle Junction? Is that the
Yeah,
place?
yeah.
It was something else, and then Whistle Junction, I think.
And then back to Chinese now, right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, but they've been shut down like 4 or 5 times.
Like when you walk in there, they have not remodeled it one time.
No, they
it's
haven't.
the exact same, no matter what.
Yeah, you could tell, man. Some good buffets. I mean, it's like it's a sight to be seen. But when you walk into a sketchy buffet, it's you're like, I don't know if I should do this.
What's the best, nicest buffet you've ever gone to?
Oh, so there was one in Vegas at one of the casinos, and it was like $70-something a ticket for this buffet.
Ooh, buddy.
But let me tell you, they had every goddamn thing you could imagine, and it was prepared perfectly. You want lobster tail? Here, have 10 of them. All done perfect. You want some filet mignon? Oh, you want thirds, fourths, maybe? And but they had like a salad line that had everything you could make. If you can think of a random ingredient, they had it.
Yeah.
A seafood line,
Brent's
a
gonna
beef
sneeze
line.
so bad. Look at it. He's been holding. He's over there battling. He's pulled the microwave 4 times. Just sneezing. Get it
won't
out.
come out. I
Let's
sneezed
make it
once.
real loud all over that mic.
But that
Fine.
one was the best one by a country mile. And it's like you had to eat until you were sick because like, man, I just paid $140 for me and my ex to eat here.
Yeah.
I'm getting my goddamn money's worth. And you do. And I walked out of there feeling like I was about to die. But that was it.
What casino was that at?
I don't even remember which one. It was one of the bigger, newer ones on the newer side of the strip of Vegas, not the older side.
I went there about 10, 12 years ago, and it was like $14.99 is the one we went to.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of different ones, and we chose the most expensive one on purpose because I'd been hearing, for years.
Chris is a
that,
foodie, man.
Yeah, that we all are. But, I've been hearing for years that the Vegas buffets are the shit. Like, well, let's find the best one.
Oh, yeah.
And that was awesome.
It was good.
What about you? What best one you been to?
Brent?
Honestly, probably Quincy's is my favorite.
Quincy's
is pretty good.
They had a good buffet.
The yeast rolls.
Oh, the big fat yeast rolls. Know why they did that shit, right? Because you ate those yeast rolls and they filled up and expanded in your stomach and made you less hungry.
Yeah, but I was like 10 or 12, so I could still eat like 50 pounds of food.
There is a whole psychology to that whole freaking thing.
What about you, Scotty?
Mine, dude, it's Texas State Brazil.
Oh, yes.
I was going to say, but is that really considered like a buffet now?
I think it is.
They do have a buffet there.
Because
though.
it was like, $100, $80 to $100 to eat. You sit down, and when before the meat starts coming out, they have a whole buffet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it's like there's 10 different types of salads, and every one of those salads would be $20 on a menu.
Yep.
Somewhere else. Then they had all kinds of stuff, and amazing. Fuck all that though. When they bring the meat out,
it's over.
You don't want the chicken. Like, just get the fuck out. The guy that had the chicken was walking around with the same chicken most of the time because everybody's
dry.
like, we don't want give me the lamb, give me the
lamb is I crave that lamb.
All of the different cuts. They have these guys with these big skewers, and they're just walking around with meat, and then they just like cut it off onto your plate, and it's the best thing in the world. We got so fat there. It was so delicious.
I've been there 3 times. I've only paid once.
Yeah,
twice were for we were having like a work conference or something. Like our boss took us there, and we went one time, and it was like my birthday, so we had like buy one get one free. It was like $40. It was like the best deal I've ever had.
I was hurting.
Hurting
when I left there.
And like you can't even drink like a beer when you're there because it's just taking up valuable space in the stomach.
I went to it 2 years ago. I was up in Kentucky visiting my mother, and I had all the kids. And I'm like, let's all go get breakfast. It was just me and all these kids, right? There were 6 of the kids. And I'm like, where are we going to go? I start driving around looking. Boom, and there was a Shoney's popped up. I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to show these little kids what the fuck is that? We're going to go to Shoney's. Dude, it sucked.
Did it really?
I mean, it was the exact same Shoney's. When you walk in there, it is the exact same Shoney's that was on 50 here in Titusville when we were in high school.
Right.
When you walked up to the buffet, it's the exact same food. I'm talking about exact. If you wanted to have like what was it, the potatoes, the hash brown potatoes or whatever with the pep, it's exactly the same. You're like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing.
Now check it out.
It wasn't that good, man.
There's a
as
Shoney's.
a kid, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a new Shoney's that they opened up probably about 5 to 10 years ago up in Ormond Beach, north of Daytona. It's brand new. It's to catch the people that are leaving NASCAR, right off 95.
Yep.
And that is one of the best local buffets I've ever had. We always stop there for breakfast on the way to St. Augustine and the way home from St. Augustine.
What's going on? Buffets are kind of slowly disappearing. What's going on?
It's not real hygienic, especially now in COVID age. You think about it. You got sneeze guards, thank God, but you got people's going in and out. They're using plates sometimes, even though they tell you not to.
And whenever, let's say your little pot of mushrooms gets low, and the workers there, instead of letting people eat all the mushrooms from that container, they just dump the others on top, and then the stuff on the bottom gets old.
Yeah, it's real hard. I mean, and it's got to be expensive too, and how much food they're wasting at the end of the day, right?
There's got to be a pretty heavy food waste,
right? Because that's why the cost is so low, because they're giving you the bottom of the barrel of food, except for the one.
And honestly, whenever you go in the newspaper and you used to see like Scott Joseph in there, and he'd be like, "Hey, these are the worst fucking restaurants in Brevard County." And 5 of the 10 are Asian places in Titusville. Yeah, but I mean, they're Asian fast food buffet type style places that are getting in trouble for all these violations that they probably operate the exact same way they do in other countries.
Sure.
To a T. But here we're just different about the way we
Florida doesn't have
regulate.
Like the grading system like a lot of the other states do. Like you go to New York, New Jersey, you walk up the door and it has like their letter grade right on the door.
They used to. I remember at the Domino's over down the street, they used to have a grade on the. I don't know if they still do or not, but they used to have a grade out there as well. But I don't know, man. I love buffets though. They were always the best, man.
I agree.
It's like when you have your kids and they're sitting there and you're like, what do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. What do you want to eat?
Go
I don't
figure
know.
something out.
Oh, I want to go here. I want to go here. and then they're arguing. It's like, well, you can go to a buffet and everybody can have everything that they want.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, it was the best place in the world to go.
Yeah, I still think so, but Colleen disagrees, so we never get to go.
Colleen, come on now.
We have been to the CC's in Melbourne a couple times.
I love CC's.
Oh, yeah.
CC's is the shit, man.
Yeah, we had like some doctor's appointments, and it was right next door. So I'm like, we are going there. And she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I'm going to show you.
Is it every man is always excited? Like for me, it was more of the gamification of the place because the good pizzas, when they came out, like there was always a battle to get to it until you have gone enough to be smart enough to know you could just go back there and say, I want one of these pizzas for my table, and they'd make it especially for you.
Yeah.
But everybody would just like, they'd put that right pizza out there, and then everybody would stand up and walk towards it at the same time. Like, oh shit, everybody's gonna eat it all. Give me a buffalo chicken slice.
There was a place where the CC's is in Melbourne now. I can't remember the name of it. Like probably 20 years ago now. That was in the same spot, and it wasn't CC's. It was like the exact same concept.
Yeah,
and I think they started it, and that was the first place I ever had dessert pizza.
Oh,
yeah,
that apple pizza, man.
Yeah, it was really
Or
good.
the
man.
chocolate or the
They had
Nutella.
the cherry one too. The Nutella pizza was always really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was always about that apple pizza. It was like an apple pie pizza, man. Oh,
yeah. CC's was also $3.99, man.
Yep.
And then $1 for a drink.
Y'all ever get the
$5 a
breadsticks
piece.
there? It's
Oh,
easy
yeah.
to get the breadsticks with the cheese sauce and with the ranch.
Breadsticks with the Alfredo sauce with the corkscrew pasta noodles.
Man.
I'd pile it. That'd be
Oh,
one plate. There's
no
a pile
noodles.
of that.
Making me hungry. Yeah.
Pile of that with the breadsticks that you just dip, and then I'd have like 2 or 3 pizzas slices stacked on that because I didn't mind the Alfredo getting on
Sure.
it because it tastes good.
I'd have a good solid 12 inches of pizza stacked up on one plate.
Oh, yeah.
Then have a plate with half ranch, half Alfredo.
Yeah. Oh man,
It's the way to do it.
Or if they had the bowls, sometimes I just fill up an entire bowl.
It's not a pleasurable dining experience. There's yelling kids, arguing
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
There's shit all over the floor.
I could block that out for some like halfway decent.
Everybody's
food.
fighting to get all the bars root beer off the fountain drinks.
Yep.
But yeah, that
Oh,
place
good
that's where
times.
you went when you had no money and you wanted to eat a whole lot
Yeah, I'm getting sick thinking about it now.
Yeah.
because you always felt terrible after you ate there. It was always
Well,
bad.
any kind of buffet, if you do it right, you're walking out of there so full you're uncomfortable. Like even like basic movement, like sitting down and standing up is a challenge.
The most uncomfortable is always eating at a Japanese steakhouse.
You think so?
For me, personally, because I always get you get the soup and salad, okay, and then they have that big thing of rice, the big thing thing of the noodles. Then I always get like the filet and shrimp or the filet and scallop. You got to get both. They also give you all vegetables on top of it and two white sauces. By the time you eat that pile, it's like been piled on your plate 3 times full. By the time you're done, like I used to try, I used to be able to finish it all. Now it's like take home, got enough for 2 more nights.
Can we get 2 white sauces?
Oh,
I'd get
the
like
whole
4 or
time.
5.
2 whites. As soon as it's empty, 2 more.
I just pour it
Just
all
fill
over everything and
It's
just
the best.
drown it.
It's the best.
Can we change the subject? This is making me so hungry. I haven't eaten since lunch
Let's
today.
do some science stuff.
All right. So Brent asked a really good question today.
Yeah, let's start with that.
That I actually had to look up because it was such a good question. What was it, Brent?
Does the past still exist?
Damned. So that is such a good. It's a philosophical question. It's a scientific question because you can look at it from both perspectives and come to sometimes the same answer, right? So I went down a rabbit hole. I'm like, this. I have never thought about this before. This is good. And a handful of articles later,
I'm too dumb to answer this one.
well, actually, it's kind of there's. You come to find out that there's a couple different ways of arriving at a conclusion of this answer, but there's only really 2 that stand out, and neither one of these 2 can be tested empirically. They can't be falsified, so they don't stand up to the scientific method. So that it's basically still just conjecture. But from kind of a quasi-scientific perspective and a quasi-philosophical perspective, you've run
Quasi.
two different stances. One is an eternalist standpoint, which is where the universe is completely infinite, right? Like even though since the Big Bang, it's been 14 years since the Big Bang, but because of the expansion of space and
Yeah,
how
Big
fast
Bang was
spots
14
can
years
go.
ago, man.
Yeah, I was
14 billion years.
I was like 15.
I was in my 30s.
So sorry. So it's like, well, with the expansion of the universe, our photon sphere, which is all the light we could see, is like 46 billion light years across, right?
Yep.
So,
Everybody knows that.
But if universe is truly infinite, like some cosmologist thinks that every current position, like the present right now, has to be repeated somewhere at some corner of infinite space, right? Because infinite space is truly infinite means that there should be some form of position, right?
So we're talking about time travel. We're trying to see if that's possible.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
you said
where we're
something
going?
interesting there. Present doesn't necessarily exist either.
No, and that's the second school of thought.
Because by the time you realize it's the present, the human thought process, it's already happened.
Right.
So it's always the past.
Yeah, it's a 14 millisecond delay from observation to processing through your brain through the moment of observation. So we're basically living 14 milliseconds in the past perpetually. So the second school of thought is so the first school is eternalistic, which means that the present and the past and the future all exist simultaneously within this infinite universe of ours. And that's based in general relativity, because general relativity means one of the basic principles of that is it doesn't exist until it's observed, right? So if you think like the wave photon duality of light, the double slit experiment, right? Light can either be a wave or
Sign
a
me up for that
particle,
experiment.
depending on how you observe it, right? That's the same thing with the past and the present and the future. So the second school of thought is presentalism, where nothing exists outside of right now, outside of what you're looking at. The future is predetermined by what you are doing presently, and the past is just a remembrance of previous observations. So all we exist in everything that exists only exists right now in this current moment, in the present. So, and they're both right and they're both wrong in there's certain regards. And, especially if you view time as a dimension, like up and down and forward and backward, and then time is the fourth dimension, then time has to have past and present and future states that can be observed.
Is time travel ever going to be possible?
Well, of course.
Well, yeah, but they also said that time doesn't actually exist too. I saw that recently.
Yeah, that's also because
that's the new physics theory.
I know, and that ties into like multiverse theory too, right? Like just because in our one specific universe, time is observable quanta, we can measure it by seconds and hours and minutes and stuff like. In other universes too, maybe time flows backward, right? Yeah. Because the laws of physics are different in each one of these multiverses that are created. But so the answer to the question is, does time exist? Or, excuse me, does the past still exist? It's like yes and no, depending on how you think about it, because there's no real way of answering that question. I just thought it was fascinating. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it's got me thinking, and brain hurt a little bit.
It does hurt your brain, right? Like I also was reading too that, did you know photons don't experience time or distance? Because they're traveling at the speed of light. The faster you get to the speed of light, the slower your perception of time is.
But once
according to the observer.
Something is history, it always exists.
Well, you can have evidence of the past, dinosaur bones, right? Old ruins and stuff like that, old paintings. But
but that still occurs in the present.
Right. That's still a present observation of the past. Does the actual physical past still exist somewhere in the universe?
Because you're never going to have the same particles and molecules like around us at this very moment. It's never going to happen again.
It would just be it existed.
Yeah, but the question is, does it still exist right now as you're observing? And the answer is both yes and no, which I think is fascinating. So I appreciate that.
All I know is this a blue dress or a white dress on the internet? I think it's blue.
That messed a lot of people up.
There was arguments about that.
I still thought it was blue.
Okay,
it was gold.
All right.
Right.
We had one more question just came in from Jason Miner. What is the hottest planet in the solar system?
The hottest planet in the solar system.
Venus.
Correct. It's not Mercury. It's Venus.
Because Venus, and that's a fact.
Correct, because of the runaway greenhouse effect.
We know that, and nobody can argue with you on that. That's
tested.
a fact.
That's tested, yeah.
All right.
It's a common misconception because Mercury's closer.
Right.
What is the nearest star to the Earth?
Alpha Centauri.
How far away is it?
4.1 light years.
4.3.
4.3 light years.
This is like a 50-year-old book. It's probably closer to what you said. What are sunspots and how do they affect Earth's radio and television services? NASA smart man.
Well, sunspots are eruptions on the sun's surface, and they shoot out prominences, which are just basically little bits and pieces of broken off magnetic field, and that goes into our magnetosphere, and it fucks up solar particles.
Electromagnetic radiation,
That's
basically.
It. Yep. And it messes with, because all we do with like radio communications, it's just radio waves, and radio waves is electromagnetic.
And the eruptions from clouds, the eruptions form clouds of gases. These explosions send out streams of tiny particles that reach hundreds of millions of miles to Earth and beyond.
Mhm.
The particles, do you know what those particles are and where they can be seen?
Well, I mean, they can be seen in the visible spectrum, but they're just charged.
And that's the North and South Pole.
Well, that's what your auroras are. That's what they're
Exactly.
coming in.
Yeah.
So,
So you answered that completely right.
So there's
like
sun-
there's a whole explanation of like 2 paragraphs, and you guys both just pretty much said everything in there.
I mean, a simple
perfectly.
term I think is just sun fart, right?
Basically.
Yeah, it's a sun fart. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's like those what do you call it? The cameras where you can see like the
the infrared camera.
infrared camera. It's just like
watching somebody fart in an infrared camera.
Yeah, you see like the puff come out.
How many stars are in the Milky Way galaxy?
That's an unknowable question. Hundreds of millions.
Billions.
Yeah, it says about 1 trillion.
Yeah. And that's just a guess too. There's no way somebody sat down and counted.
I really think we're probably in a simulation, guys.
I agree with you.
I really believe that. I'm gonna stick to that. We're a
Man,
simulation.
you
There's
guys
too
got
much
me
crazy
thinking
shit.
now.
I think so. The simulation argument is really fascinating because, like, if you think of what is the small, here's one for Brett. What is the smallest observable unit of time and space? Or we'll just say space. Nothing can get smaller than this. You can't even measure smaller than this.
Quark?
A nanogram.
It's a Planck length. It's 1 times 10 to the negative billionth something number. It's the very smallest unit of existence that we can measure. And I look at that like pixels.
This gets back to
That's a fucking pixel. Yep.
It's a pixel.
This gets back to the Googleplex thing.
Yeah.
And how many atoms and stuff are in the universe and
infinity of infinity.
Right. But you think like, what does that one Tool song say? It's a comedian who's doing a riff and starts all matter is just energy condensed to its slowest moving form. And that's just the truth because this table here is made up of molecules, which are made up of electrons, which are made up of quarks.
Yep.
And made up of bosons.
There's densities. And,
right.
Yeah.
And so this is just energy that's been slowed down to a condensed form that you can touch. So if you think about it, we're all just particles. We're nothing, basically. If you take a really existentialist look at it, you look at the scientific way of describing reality, it's like we're just things made of
Do you think we'll
pixels.
ever be able to, our soul, like the human soul of thought process and that existence and that reality? Do you think they'll ever figure out how that existence?
I think at some point in human history we'll get that figured out, but not right now.
Because there's a lot of theories, and there's like, where does that awakening, where does that true self-being come from?
The pineal gland.
Well, if it's a simulation, some programmer somewhere.
Exactly.
He just needs to blow on the cartridge and put it back.
Like we're gonna give this guy a smoky robe. He's gonna smoke meats all the fucking time. Okay. He's gonna work for some program company. We're gonna make him a little smarter. He's gonna like ride motorcycles and be in bands, and he's gonna be like work for NASA, and he's gonna like hang out with dogs and be on a weird podcast.
But that's where the question of God comes in, because God solves all of that. Let there be light, and then boom, we existed. There's your big
It only
bang.
took him 7 days, right?
Only 7 whole days.
Yeah.
But that's where a lot of people would go to it. And it's very easy to go that way to have an understanding of this omnipotent and this omniscient creator that just willed everything into existence.
But
I mean, that's
but 7 days of what? Because 7 Earth days or 7. If time's not a thing, 7 days can be any length of time.
That's right.
I religion's something for me.
Yeah, same.
I question way too much stuff to have full faith in the things that I read. Okay, the reading, like what I'm reading, the words that are being put on this paper, but there's something to what it's trying to say and do that I greatly respect. Like, I know religion has its crowd forming, let's get everybody on the same page and be, let's live by these rules, kind of thing. but I think it's very like the community part of it. I think it's so important. Like my grandfather was a Baptist preacher for 50 years, Temple Baptist in Titusville, and I loved everything about what he did and the whole process, and like even going to church, all your friends and every. But when they started talking about shit, I had a hard time tuning into it.
Sure.
And believing it. I questioned too much. And when I didn't get the answers that I sought when I asked those questions, I don't know, it just turned me off, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about having blind faith that, without blind faith, you have these questions because we're humans, we're inquisitive.
Yeah.
And when we read the stuff like the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or whatever, it represents, humanity's kind of best efforts at explaining the unexplainable.
Exactly.
But it's still just written by human beings, even if it's divinely
and
inspired.
it changes all,
right.
Like the Pope changes his mind all the fucking time about stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And then you get into the scholarly study of the Bible, and you go back, and it was rewritten, and some things were mistranslated from the original Greek,
You got the Enoch,
from Aramaic,
the Book of Enoch, and all that stuff.
Right.
Like,
some guy at some point was like, even though we found all these scriptures, we're not going to include this one, so we're going to make this one not real, right?
Yeah.
So you get all those questions, and those questions, to somebody who's already having a hard time with religion, if they get these questions in their head, at the end of the day, it's going to turn them off.
Yeah.
That's what it requires, blind faith. And blind faith is difficult for a lot of people.
It is. I was at a comic book store, okay, and down in Melbourne, and this guy, it's called 9.9 Comics. This guy is he's a character, man. Like he is he's awesome. I go in there. I don't know this guy. My daughter was in the hospital in Melbourne. She was had some stomach issues going on and spent like 3 days there. And there was a time where I needed to leave for a few hours and give her some time with some other people, visitors and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
I'm walking around, going to this comic book store. I start talking to this guy, and I'm picking some stuff here and there. And we somehow get into a conversation about religion. And he's like, "Do you believe in God?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't really know how I feel about it." I said, every conversation that I've had current to date has led me to being pretty doubtful, but ultra respectful of it, to where I would even, if there was the right preacher and I was in the right, in this relationship and this person, I would still be cool going and being a part of a church, just because of the people and the camaraderie, if the message is being told the right way, not because I believe in everything being said, but I believe in the practice of community and doing well unto others and being a good person. A lot of the virtues that are signaled through their messages.
And that's that's the problem with a lot of the churches, is the negative message and not the positive message.
It's like growing up, it was always like, that church sucks. Don't talk. Like if there's another church in the street, say, "Oh, those people are awesome. I love them. They're great too." Like even if you don't believe in you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there was so much like when I printed T-shirts, the hardest people to deal with were the members of the churches come in. They were always negative. It was always a problem. They're always trying to get your price down to be cheaper than, you know what I mean? Like to not make a buck, because they're for profit. It was always there's always some negative aspect that would come of the situation.
Yeah, so I was raised Southern Baptist like you are.
Yeah,
and what I remember, I stopped going to church when I had the choice, when I think I was about 14.
Yeah.
And the only thing I remember about going to church was being judged by
Everybody.
the clothing we were wearing.
Oh, yeah.
Being judged by the haircuts, being judged for everything. It's like, this is supposed to be a safe space of communal gathering. And I feel like I'm being talked shit about every single time I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's an immediate turn off to, I don't care what the pastor was preaching about.
Yep.
The fact that I got all the rich people from Cocoa Beach looking at me and my brothers and stepbrothers and sister wearing second-down clothes, hand-me-down clothes, because that's all we could afford.
Yep.
It's like, I don't want to be here.
Yep.
And it was a complete turnoff. I mean, there was many other things that happened.
No, you're told.
But that's basically
I've watched that happen so many times. That's why I kind of always I've never been in there. I don't I just know people that go there. Is the Grove Church?
Yeah.
Like I remember they used to be on Carpenter in that little church right across from that little convenience store. I think that was the Grove right there, wasn't it?
I think so. At one point,
and people were going in just whatever you wore. Don't wear flip flops and shorts. Wear whatever. Just wake up and go. and have a good time.
Right.
When people I'd hear people talking, like, that's probably the way it should be done. Like,
that is the way it should be done.
Like, let everybody be who they are, but go worship and do your thing.
So my friends, the Longorias, they both own and they just started the Rock Church up in Scottsmore. It's a rock and roll themed church, right? Like they play rock music, like actual rock music, right? And they're very open and accepting of whoever shows up, however you show up, just come as you are, right? And they're just such nice people and so cool that, I would go just to hang out, even though I don't agree with the message.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the religion part, but the community aspect of it. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to go show up and
important.
I'm going to take my Harley up there. I'm going to show up there in jeans and a t-shirt, and I'm going to sing all these fun songs with these guys.
Yeah.
And then when the preacher starts, I'm probably going to go outside and have a smoke and leave. But just the way that they organize, I think that's how it should be, right? Like you shouldn't have to be judged.
Exactly.
I growing up Catholic, I remember when they brought drums and a guitar in for the first time, and all the other people just completely lost their minds.
Yep.
And they had like, oh, we're gonna give a special mass just for that, so that the old people can just avoid it,
right?
And it's like our rock mass. And then, growing up, I started hanging out with some friends, and their parents were like the youth pastor at the Baptist church up here.
Yep.
So I started going out there for youth group, and I go with them on Sundays, and
and
it was more just having fun with a group of people
that are good people and that are kind of in a controlled environment in a way where everybody's kind of looking out and kind of good and their family. Like, it's so beneficial. Like, I feel like societies need to have those type of communities installed in them for that reason of, building a community of peaceful people that can have virtues and values. And there's so much. Okay, I know we got to get off here. And
we got to.
But let me just real quick. That comic book guy, what started. He asked me if I believed in God, and I gave him my honest, jibber jabber answer. And he goes, you know what? He goes, my father's a preacher, or was a preacher. He said, "Do you got a minute?" I was like, "Oh, shit. Yeah, sure." They were closed. It was like 8:00. It was already closing time. We sat there for an hour and a half, and he gave me his whole spiel on. He went to Bible school as a kid. Right when he graduated high school, he went to Bible school. The only purpose was to prove his preacher father wrong, that God isn't real, and he was going to find the words to help him with his argument. He learned Hebrew. He learned other dialects, and he read those Bible. He graduated, and he believes in God. He did not believe in God and wanted to prove his father wrong and went to Bible. And the way he explained himself as to why, I don't know the answer. I couldn't do nothing but respect the effort and the thought process that he went into making the decision that he made.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Whether I believe him or not, or whether I'm right or wrong, that's not the point. And so many humans, and this goes into, a lot of different factions of people's lives, and why maybe religion is so important, is we have to be able to let people be who they are, think how they think, happen, whatever. We all want to control people's thoughts and judge people based on their thoughts now than ever before. And with the internet, it's just completely done that.
It's giving everybody a megaphone.
To everybody's got this is right or this is wrong, and there's no other answer, and you can't change my mind.
And don't get me wrong, too. Like, I'm not dogging all Christian churches, right? Because I know the Christian church is capable of doing great things for people that need it. Some churches are great for the community, but there are the churches that
it can be
aren't
used
so
for
much.
good just as much as it can be used for bad.
Bingo. And especially like if you get, when you involve, and we are not rabbit hole in this, this. I'm just going to say it, but
I got
once
real
you get
bad trivia right after this.
politics involved, then it gets worse. And
what's the new comment
from Jason?
No, right below that just came through. Science.
Does Uranus fart?
Actually, yes.
The sun does.
Yeah, Uranus is one of the main chemical constituents of its atmosphere is methane. And methane is one of the primary chemicals in a fart.
Like, where did the origin of Uranus come
It's
from?
Uranus. It's a Greek god.
Oh, okay. That's right. All right, let's do some trivia and let's call it a night. I think we've nerded everybody out pretty well.
I'm going to say poop.
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 There might be poop in here. We'll see.
There probably will be.
I hope not.
They say that the mind is the first thing to go, but it might start going way sooner than people realize. At what age does the brain start to deteriorate?
27.
Is it 18, 25, 30, or 47?
30.
25.
It's 30. When you're 27, you're right in the middle of those two. But 30 at 30 years old, our brain starts to deteriorate.
Yep.
So for 13 years, I'm getting dumber. I don't know, though. The largest bill to go into circulation in the United States did so in 1945. The value of the bill was how much? Was it a $5,000 bill, a $10,000 bill, a $25,000, or a $50,000 bill?
Now, was this a one-off print?
Just a one bill, one print.
50,000.
It's the highest denomination. Yeah,
Yep.
50,000.
10,000.
10,000.
They made a $10,000.
That actually went into circulation? Because I know they print out like $1 million bills that are only printed once to help with
the largest
that
bill
stuff.
that went into circulation was 10,000 a piece.
Now they have like platinum coins, don't they?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They just make money. Damn, get her whiskey.
Just like cryptocurrency.
That's exactly right.
If you ever find yourself I did this on purpose. I can't pronounce this word. If you ever find yourself pandiculating, P-A-N-D-I-C-U-L-A-T-I-N-G,
It's pendiculating.
you're probably what? Rocking your chair back without realizing it? Whistling while you're walking? Yawning and stretching at the same time? Or eavesdropping?
Walking while you're whistling.
What is pandiculating?
I'm trying to break the word down.
Well, because ulating, that's in like perambulating, which is like the act of driving a vehicle or a bike. So ulating, I'm going to go with some forward motion. So I'm going walking while whistling.
Rocking your chair. I'm thinking like pendulum.
Oh, we were all wrong.
It's the stretching. The reason I pulled that question out is there's something that I do every day. And I don't know if this is a healthy, good thing or if this is an alarm sign that I need to go to a doctor immediately. Is every day I do this little yawn, like I do it at work too. I do this yawn and stretch thing. And then I feel like I lose vision a little bit. like you know when you do that just super big yawn? You get it. And it gets real good, and then all of a sudden, when you kind of get back in, everything you kind of slowly, like I'll start to kind of like black out in a way.
Yeah,
and then I come out.
You're exerting yourself, so you're spiking your blood pressure, and that's what's happening. Is a momentary spike of blood pressure that's geeking your system out.
Is that why that happened
I do
to me
it
this
all
morning?
the time. I'm gonna die.
It happened this morning when I was doing my CrossFit workout.
You did that,
dude?
No, I was like doing some hollow
pandiculated
on the ground, and my hands and feet were in the air, and I'm like,
I'm pandiculating.
I blacked out for like 2 seconds. I was just like,
bro, that's not good.
It isn't good.
Well, I mean, it was
Dangerous.
5 o'clock in the morning.
You're probably smart enough to go see a doctor. Scott's like, yeah, I'm going to die, but I'll be all right. I'll figure it out.
I'm not going to a doctor for that. It'll be like $5,000 in tests to tell me. I don't really know.
Stop pandiculating so much.
The worst part is when you stretch like that, and then all of a sudden you get like a muscle cramp from it, and you can't go back to normal.
If I could trust doctors that are good at their jobs, I'd probably go more often. If you ever... okay. The item with the most calories at McDonald's isn't a burger. Which menu item clocks in at 1,000, almost 1,100 calories?
McFlurry.
Yeah, it's got to
a
be.
large raspberry triple thick milkshake, a 20-piece of McNuggets, a large McCafe Oreo frappe.
That's it.
Or the big breakfast with hotcakes.
No, it's the McCafe.
Yeah, the frappe.
It's the big breakfast, man.
Is it really?
When's the last time you got a big breakfast from McDonald's?
Never.
A couple months ago.
Couple months?
Well, I got it for the kids.
Yeah.
Because they wanted pancakes, and
their pancakes are legit.
Well, Stella gets the pancakes like just about every weekend, but she only gets just the pancakes because that's all she'll eat there.
Yeah.
Hot cakes.
The hot cakes, yeah.
Well, they got the McGriddles now, and South Silas. He'll go, just give me some McGriddle cakes, and that's all he wants is 2 of them.
Well, we get those every Wednesday and Friday on the way to school.
Okay, yeah.
And they pick the sausage off them and eat just
the McGriddle cake.
There
And
you
you
go.
can get it without the sausage, so you could just get, like, hey, give me your sausage. And you eat that and let the kids
That's
eat.
what I do.
Yeah.
So we have the app, so everything it's like already pre-ordered, and I just hit order now, and then drive up.
Yeah, them frappes are real high in calories though too.
Oh yeah. If you have alien hand syndrome, you are a person whose hand turns green when they are cold.
No.
Whose hand acts on its own,
That
and
one.
you may even choke yourself.
That one.
Who has to wear rings on every finger? Or who is allergic to latex gloves?
No, it's the one where you have no control of your hand.
That
So you can just like
Yeah,
start
it's
choking
fucking
yourself
it's
out
crazy.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
Is there evidence of this?
It's an actual thing. It's in the DSM.
Wow.
I thought it was just a kink, but
No, that's the stranger.
You knew it right away. No, that's the stranger, bro.
Come on now.
I'm just gonna let it lay there, and everybody knows what
is there
that
a category on the hub for that?
We should find out.
There's got to be.
That may not be a category you want to stumble into, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up. I don't want that on my phone.
It's on Chris's subreddit. What is the national animal of Scotland? Is it a liger, a mix of lion and tiger, a zebra, a wolf, or a unicorn?
Unicorn.
It's a fucking unicorn.
I think if Scotland actually has a pack of wallabies.
What?
On the island?
Really?
Really?
I guess they got imported like hundreds of years ago, and they actually got let loose, and they've survived, and they've actually continued to reproduce and thrive.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like the monkeys at the Enchanted Forest over there, Southtown?
Is there really? There's no monkeys in Enchanted Forest.
Yeah, you've never heard that?
Dude, that's bullshit.
No, because it came from Tropical Wonderland.
Yeah, that's one that Johnny Weissmuller.
You're
used to
saying
do.
there's monkeys in the Enchanted Forest right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I played baseball growing up at IRC right there, that was always the thing, is go out in the woods and there's monkeys back there.
You can hear them.
Did you ever go out in the woods and see these monkeys that everybody was talking about being
There's
there?
tons of stuff back there. We used to walk the Enchanted Forest all the time.
Yeah,
Did
there's
you
like 10
see-
miles worth of trails back there.
Oh, I know. I've used to walk them. Me and the kids used to all the time. I never saw a monkey.
You're not looking hard enough.
You never saw a monkey.
I never saw a monkey.
Brent never saw a monkey.
I heard a monkey.
So no one here has ever seen a monkey in that forest, is all I'm saying.
They're there, man.
We're going to call Frank on this.
We should.
I haven't seen a monkey. I've seen a Florida panther.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be panthers.
I saw one out at the 39A
Yeah.
a few years ago. It was like a mom and a couple cubs.
Saw a couple bobcats out there. It was
Enchanted Forest is pretty badass too, man. Because that was like all that was. A lot of that was drainage for orange groves. And
Yeah.
stuff
Well, the
back in
Addison
day.
Canal runs right through
Yeah,
there.
and the history of that place is pretty awesome, and it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
If you actually follow the Addison Canal from like the St. John's all the way through, you can follow it all up to basically the Indian River.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then you can actually see it going up. It actually crosses the street and goes over where Knight's Armament is.
Okay.
And goes up through Port St. John.
No
Oh,
shit.
wow. Interesting.
Well, all right, guys. That was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think we got
nerded out.
nerdy enough.
Nah.
I think we could have got nerdier.
We didn't get into gaming too much.
No.
We didn't get into too much. We kind of just lightly touched on it.
Yeah, we could do a whole episode of gaming, I think.
Yeah, we'll get there next time.
All right.
Round 2.
It's good to be back. Glad
Yeah.
my schedule fucking allowed it.
So when you get home, Brent, is Colleen going to be like real nice, or is she going to be mad at you and give you a little attitude because you got to go have fun and
She was just
didn't?
texting me
Oh my God! Hurry up!
saying that the dog's going crazy the entire time I'm gone.
I think if you're in a relationship and one person is not in the house and the other one is in the house dealing with things, if you're at the house, you have to text and tell them things that are happening.
Sure.
In ways to help hurry that person up to get their asses home.
Yeah, it's okay. The house
like
is
it.
kind of on fire, but it's all good. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. You have
Yeah,
fun.
you're fine.
I'll
You're
handle
fine.
You have to call her as soon as I leave.
Oh,
There it is.
What are you going to eat on the way home?
I'm going to call her after pick up my food. Yeah.
Yeah, I already got it. I'm
You're
sorry.
gonna get in trouble now that it's on record.
And then next Tuesday, Chris, you won't be around next Tuesday?
I don't think I will be.
So next Tuesday, I have to go to my sister's graduation in Arcadia. It's like a 3-hour drive on Tuesday morning. I'm taking off work that day. So as soon as I'm done, it'll be like noon, 1 o'clock. I am pretty much I'll have all the equipment in the truck, and I'm just going to drive straight back to Titusville.
If it's too much, man, we can just skip a week.
I think it'd be fun, though. Like, we've kind of talked every second Tuesday
Yeah.
to record at the brewery, and I think it'll be cool. Like, I'm down to do it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I just got assigned the OFT2 launch to
Okay.
direct that one.
Okay.
And that's in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But we get these weird fucking rehearsals and different things that may prevent me. But I'll let
you
know.
make it, great. If not, I think it's just Colleen and I. And we're going to set it up. We're probably going to, anybody who joins us and shows up, we're going to get them on the mics and kind of have it as an interactive situation. Like we kind of done that the last, both times we've gone.
Yeah.
And it's worked out really well. So I want to keep doing that. I think it's awesome that we're doing that up there at the brewery.
Yeah. Plus amazing beer.
Dude, God.
Dude, I mean, the food and the beer just sells the whole. That's why I want to go up there.
and I say we. They have Scrub J back on tap. I saw
do they really?
Too. Yeah, not just a can. So
fantastic.
You'll be set. And they have key lime again.
Oh, do they?
Ooh, nice. Scott's favorite. Lots of whipped cream.
No. The Scrub J is my favorite beer that they have. It's fantastic.
You know you like
really
whipped cream.
I like whipped cream from home.
All right, well.
All right, guys.
See you guys. Love you,
Charlie, we missed you.
Yep. Colleen, we missed you.
Congratulations on your closing of your house.
Hope you made lots of dollars.
Colleen, clean the effing house. Have it ready for Brent when he gets home. Thank you.
Get his robe ready.
Yep. And until next time.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more. Saying you're gonna be alright. Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more. Saying you're gonna be alright.
Dude, that's just killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.